Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Trend News Channel. I'm your host Johnny Awesome, and today we'll talk about the highlights of last week. We'll talk about the good, the bad, and the Trump. Yes, I came up with that all by myself. Talk about Trump. I mean, come on guys, let's take him seriously. He is only the president of the most powerful nation on earth. Okay, maybe, just maybe he acts like a little baby every time he doesn't get what he wants and he blames everyone. Well, whatever. Talk about Trump. We're going to talk about the Trump Care Plan. Or, as I like to call it, the Trump not so care about working families plan. All he does care about is the rich. Fortunately for all of us on this globe, his own party rejected his plan. His own party. Because he rejected the idea of an individual mandate. He didn't want to do what Obamacare wanted to do, which is cover all Americans and at least get people to register. He doesn't care about that. And therefore, we and the entire world doesn't care if Republicans rejected your health care plan. Yes. We're not talking about conservatives here. We're talking about Republicans, your own party, where you want a majority, but you can't convince your own party to be on the same side as you. Come on, that's just embarrassing. And the Republicans actually made a very good reasoning behind this. So, no individual mandate. On top of that, he wants to treat people with pre-existing conditions badly. Obamacare used to protect those people. They used to ensure that insurers didn't charge them double. And they would still receive care. But under your plan, they can be charged much more because of changes. On top of that, what I find is the most hypocrite idea of this plan is that in order for Trump to save on prescription drugs, he wants to import them from foreign countries. Whoa, hold on a second. So, we don't like Mexicans, and we obviously are not going to take anything from them because we want them out of the country and we're building a wall against, again, taxpayers' money. So, where are we going to get the drugs from? Russia? Okay, makes sense because America and Russia are now the bestest of pals. You know, Putin calls Trump all the time his homeboy or whatever. But, good for us, your plan failed. Thank God for that. And Americans still get some kind of healthcare plan. For our next topic today, we will talk about Brexit. Or as the Daily Mail says, Legsit. First of all, gold star, Daily Mail, gold star. Because you proved to all of us how much of jackasses you are. Legsit? Are you kidding with me? That doesn't even rhyme. If I put one word and another word and put them together, it doesn't make me a good rhymer, it just makes me bad at English. Maybe all the writers in Daily Mail has been outsourced to India. That would be awkward. And not very surprising. So, the Article 50 has been triggered and all news networks decide to show up the 730 days. Yes, there's a big label that says we have 730 days to reach a decision with the EU. 730 days and like 10 hours. Everybody knew that after the article was triggered, it would take 2 years. It makes me feel like the network thinks that all, UK citizens don't understand that 2 years have 365 days, which makes 730, so they want to make it as obvious as possible. And I mean, just imagine the politicians going, oh, well, we have 730 days to actually, come with an agreement. Well, that's a lot of time, actually. Why don't we just, go to the Bahamas or anything? Let's use the taxpayers' money, or our salaries. Yeah, our salaries. We love the taxpayers. So, the big question is what's going to happen with the EU after the UK leaves? I mean, right now you'll have two big players left in the EU. That is Germany and France. Germany is also a very dominant country right now. Everyone knows that economically. their industry is booming, they take advantage of free trade, and they're only growing. So the EU does help them a lot. But will they have more dominance now? Now the UK is basically out of the picture? Or will Germany and France have to cooperate very well together to ensure that no other member state decide to go with the same idea and follow the same footpath as the UK did and become hippies, non-EU hippies, which we don't like because we like the EU. Still not sure why. So, or the worst case scenario, now that UK is gone, the EU politically is not as aligned with the US anymore, or that's what we think. That's why the US was nervous for a while. And maybe the EU is gonna, soften the sanctions on Russia. Maybe we'll start caring about the Russians. You never know. We may let them join the EU. I don't think that's gonna happen, but no one knows. The only thing we do know from this experience is Lexit. And also that the guys in Daily Mail are freaking pervs and have a very weird fetish for middle-aged women legs. And I rest my case. Finally, I would like to end this article in a bit of a sentimental note because of obviously what happened last week. A madman decided to drive a car and kill a couple of people and decided to also stab a policeman to death who was on duty on that day. This was obviously very, very unfortunate, and we all feel for the families who I think are probably suffering the most right now because of their losses. There are a couple of things I'd like to highlight though, and one thing that disappointed me personally is the news networks tend to overplay the wrong things. So, first of all, it was an act of terror, it was terrorism, it was labeled as terrorism exactly. If this happened anywhere else, people die in many places, and many places, even in London, people get stabbed, they get killed. But because it was close to the parliament, we labeled it as terrorism, and instead of just criminal psychopath. And unfortunately, it also seems that, the media always highlights the fact that, hey, this guy is a Muslim, and we should, put all Muslims in this little category of bad people, even though there are like 2 billion Muslims in the world right now, and these terrorist groups make like a very, very small portion of the 2 billion, and to be honest wouldn't be classified as Muslims because murder is a sin, and if you do murder then you're not a Muslim or a Christian or a Jew or any religion or a human being, really. You're just a psychopath. That's what I think. So I think the news network should have played it a lot better. They should have, forgotten about that, because a lot of Muslims do die, as many as Jews and Christians die due to ISIS. There are a lot of Muslims dying right now due to ISIS as well. So we shouldn't forget about them and treat them nicely, because every time something bad like that happens on the news, it makes it harder for the regular day-to-day Muslims that are just trying to fit into Western society. And we should really let them integrate, because after all, who's gonna make our falafel sandwiches? No, I'm just kidding. Muslims are great people, and obviously you have engineers, doctors, and just try to lighten up the mood. Anyhow, thanks for watching this episode. More are to come, of course, because that's all I do. And hope you enjoyed it. Check out the articles below for any specific details. Like, share, subscribe. You know how it is. Have a great day, peeps. Peace out.